Hello and welcome back everyone, we're of course back, and today, as you can see, we're back on Hypixel Skyblock. Don't mind that fence right there. Anyway, as promised last episode, today's episode is all about the bazaar and how to make money early game. Now, there's a couple key things you're going to want to do. First off, as I said last episode, you gotta be farming level 7, foraging level 7, and mining level 7. Now, last episode I went over how to get to all of those levels, so make sure to check out that video, and basically come right on back, and I'll show you how to use this amazing thing here called the bazaar. Anyway, this is basically the stocks of Hypixel Skyblock. And what I mean by that is that you want to buy low and sell high. For example, say I wanted to go ahead and buy some brown mushrooms, and then I wanted to make some money out of this. Well, I could buy them for 2.5 coins, because I would have to go up by 0.1, and then I could sell them for 3.9, because I'd have to go down by 0.1 with a sell offer. And then I'd make a profit of a bit, not overly much. But if I was to go and try to sell and flip these, I could make a way bigger profit, but it would cost me way more money to get started. So, this video is going to be all about how to kind of go from that point of making a little bit of profit to making multiple thousands of profit in one flip. All the way up to making, 1.2 million profit in just one click. Now it's not a lot for once you get into the super late game and all that, when you've got billions of dollars. But when you're early game, you need anything you can get. And that is why this is incredible. So, oops, don't mind all those people there. This is, of course, a public server session. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I have gone and grabbed all of my coins for this demonstration. Now, as I said, there is a big curve of, how much money you'll be able to make in the beginning. You will be starting with things worth, a couple coins, and then going up to things worth a couple hundred coins, couple thousand coins, maybe tens of thousands of coins. It's a big process. But you're going to want to look for the things that you can afford. So, of course, if you're going right off after my last video, you're going to be, basically with wheat and sand for your main things that you can sell. So you're not going to get a ton of money, but you're going to get a bit. And that, any amount is enough. You could do this with literally less than 1 coin for the most part. But, the very first thing I suggest doing is going on into this amazing building. Now I think there is some level, or some, mining requirement or something to be able to do anything in here. But once you can do that, I entirely suggest going in here, going to account and profile upgrades, and getting the coins allowance. This thing will give you 10,000 coins to start with after a few days, and that'll just happen every day. Then you can upgrade to 20,000, 30,000, which I'm going for right now. And then while you have one of these top upgrades going on, you can do one of these lower ones. I entirely suggest going with the Ender Chest pages, because that will help you a bunch in the early game, and basically all throughout the entire game. Then, the accessory bag and magic find, definitely, that's always helpful. Anyway, once you've got that going, that'll take, I think 5 days to start with for that upgrade to finish, and then after that you'll be making 10k a day. Easy money. Literally as easy as it gets. Now, once you have, a bit of money from your, your wheat, your seeds, your sand, you can go in here, and generally, you will be able to buy packed ice, and you're just going to want to get as much of it as possible. Now, I think I kind of mentioned this last episode, I honestly forget, but you can get 640 of this item every day. Now, what you're going to want to do, this is the easiest method of flipping, it's just instant flipping. Now, this requires no buy order, no sell order, which you're not going to make as much, but it will be as fast and as easy as possible. So, you can sell this instantly. What in the world? This is not... it's not normal. Generally, you can sell this for a profit of some sort, though. Generally, when I go back and forth, you know, getting the normal ice, sand, and the packed ice, I can make about 10-15k, if I remember right. I'm gonna put this stuff away because I don't know why that's happening. That has never happened before, but it should be able to, you know, be normal whenever any of you do it. Now, I'm assuming the Spooky Festival is going on right now, and I've got a couple green candy. Now, if I want to, I can go ahead and resell this for, you know, almost 900 coins each, which early game will be, you know, an okay amount. That's not going to help you a ton, but it'll be enough to get you started. Now, you are absolutely going to want to look out for things like that, you know, the events. Now, the traveling zoo, that's not going to help you too much, but the big thing is the Spooky Festival and the, whenever there's a fishing event from one of the mayors. Now, I don't suggest actually fishing because if any of you watched my last episode, you know I'm not a fan of fishing in this game. But when you do have one of those fishing events, these items will go up in price by a fair amount. And then you can resell them whenever they go up in sell price, which in this is the buy price. It's a bit confusing, but you figure it out over time. And basically, you can make easy profit just by timing it, which is one of the slower, more annoying methods, but it can make you really good profit. Once again, buy low, sell high. Right now, for example, this is 540 coins to buy, and it sells for almost 2,000. That's literally almost 4 times in terms of profit. But, once again, you want to start very low. You know, when I first started doing this, I was doing carrots and I was doing mutton, which actually did really well until it kind of went back up. And a big one for me was the hay bales. Now, these are a bit more expensive than the, you know, carrots and all that, but these will sell and buy really fast and make you almost $10 in profit each time. Now, over time, you can still do 1,000 of these and make an okay amount of profit. Now, once you've done that and you have, you know, maybe 30k, once that's done, you can start going for things like the Enchanted Melon. These are a good kind of gateway one to go with. You know, they cost a couple hundred, they sell for a couple hundred. Now, later on in the game, you'll be able to buy 1,000 of these and it won't really be any big deal. But, you know, you're going to, of course, want to continue flipping these. Once again, the hay bales will buy and sell really fast. Now, I can just go in here, obtain all those, and resell them right away like nothing. What you're going to want to do, though, as I said, the Enchanted Melons, you're going to want to keep flipping those. You're going to want to keep doing it until you can start going with these. Now, an important thing is, if you can afford one of these, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than getting the equivalent amount of something else. You want to look at the amount that you can buy, and the amount of profit you'd get from that, compared to the amount of profit you'd get from this. So, for example, let me see if there's something I can find. You know, if I was to get a booster cookie, that does give a good amount of profit. It gives about 50k profit. But I could not buy many of these compared to being able to buy, say, a ton of ectoplasm or pumpkin guts or any of this stuff. So that's a big factor that you want to look at. You know, another thing would be some of the more expensive power stones. I could not afford many of these, but these are gonna give a lot of profit compared to, you know, other things like maybe these two things. These will give more profit in the long run. Now, once you're kind of past that, you know, enchanted glistening melon, or glistering, I guess, melon stage, where you're making a fair amount of profit. Actually, I'm going to put in an order for these right now. Now, doing an order of 1,000 is kind of dangerous when your money depends on it. For example, this is a pretty good chunk of my total money. But if I look at how much that'll be able to sell for when it's done, that's going to almost double if that stays around that price. Now, later on, you'll be doing things like, for example, the enchanted paper. This was one that really kind of helped me go from, you know, stage to stage, because it does sell pretty fast, and it buys pretty fast, and it's a pretty good amount of profit early into this process. Now, another good thing is generally the enchanted cactus green, or even just cactus, if you're still early into this. Some things I've noticed that have really kind of done well are the red goblin eggs. Those sell and buy, you know, pretty quickly. Those have a good profit margin. Now these, you want to also look at the, or underneath the buy price and the sell price, it says a number. Now that number represents how many people are, you know, putting in orders. So this will sell pretty slowly in comparison to this. Now, sometimes you will want to take the slower offer and make a lot more profit, but in that time, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to put in an order or two for these. You know, always got to be making profit. While you're waiting for that, the prices can change dramatically. They can literally, if I was to put in an order for these blue goblin eggs, for all I know, tomorrow that 1.1 million could be 700k, and it could barely be worth it anymore. For example, one time I was buying the enchanted melons, and they were, you know, I could buy them for like 300, sell them for like 700. But since that was such a high buy-sell price, other people were going at it. You know, it was like throwing chum into the water of sharks. And when people will see that, the prices and the sell offers and the buy offers that you're going to be putting will be getting undercut so fast that you've got to keep up with it. So sometimes it's not as good to go with those high price ones and to kind of go with something more stable. That's why generally I like going with the spooky things, because these stay around, you know, a couple K profit, and they, you know, they buy and sell pretty easily. But if you want to go for more risky things, that's always up to you. Now, the later on things you can of course figure out once you're to that point. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Just look around, find what's selling often, what's buying often, buy low, sell high. It's as simple as that. Once again, stuff like this, those will go good. I mean, they'll sell kind of slowly, but they will go pretty easily. And definitely don't forget that you can, of course, just farm stuff yourself and then resell it to either the bazaar or the NPCs that spawn. For example, if I go over to my island, you know, I'm back over here. I know I was here last episode, but if I go and grab this redstone, then I can go back to the hub and, you know, run on over here, and I can just resell this stuff, the normal redstone at least, for, you know, not much, but with how much they create, I can make an okay amount of profit. Or I can also sell what my, you know, combat and mining sacks have and make a bit of money that way. You always want to be looking for those little bits of extra money, because you never know when you might need that extra 7.7k, or even 41 coins. Any little bit is always good. You know, a million is always made up with a million single coins. Never forget that. Now, I'm not saying that's the easiest way to get a million coins, but it is a way to get a million coins. If you just kind of let your minions go, then they will get you some money over time. Now, the final and probably second easiest, just because it's not quite as simple as the allowance that I talked about over there, is to literally just wait for the good ol' interest in your bank. Now, as you can see, now that I have, 6 million coins, pretty solid amount, I can get 120k every 31 hours. And then that's going to increase, and increase, and increase. So if I was gone for a long time, then I could be making pretty solid money. That's, over 100k every a bit over a day. So, those are all the main early game money methods that you're going to be using in Hypixel Skyblock. Definitely make sure to leave a like on this video if it helped you at all. Make sure to comment how it helped you, or any other suggestions for maybe an updated version of this or the last video, or even videos to come in the future. Definitely make sure to, join my Discord server that I will be leaving in the description, and check out my other social media accounts that I will also be leaving in the description. I mainly post on Instagram, but I will soon be, streaming on Twitch quite a lot. I have some big plans for that, I just am kind of getting ready for it. And that's about it. Make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content, and if it, helped you or anything like that. Make sure to, hit the notification bell to show support. Thank you all very much for watching. Till next time, everyone, and goodbye.